Hey, what's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel. NFL Cowboys news. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the latest Cowboys news, updates, and in-depth analysis. Today, we've got some huge news coming from Frisco, and trust me, you won't want to miss this one. It's all about the future of one of the breakout stars of the Dallas Cowboys 2024 season, none other than Rico Dowdle. Now, if you've been following the team this season, you know Dowdle's story is one for the books. The guy's been working behind the scenes for years, waiting for his chance, and now that it's finally here, there's some big talk about his future with the team. Will he stay? Will he go? And how will this affect the Cowboys' plans for 2024 and beyond? Let's dive deep into this situation and what it means for the team. You're going to want to stick around for this one, trust me. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the contract talks, let's talk about how we even got here. Rico Dowdle is one of those players whose story embodies the essence of hard work, perseverance, and never giving up. Dowdle wasn't a household name when he first joined the Cowboys. In fact, most fans probably didn't think much of him early on. He spent a lot of time grinding away on the practice squad, learning the ropes, and just biding his time. But all that hard work has paid off in a huge way. In 2024, Dowdle exploded onto the scene as one of the Cowboys' most reliable offensive weapons. After struggling with a lackluster running game for much of the season, Dowdle stepped up and put up over 1,000 rushing yards. Let that sink in for a second. A guy who had to fight for every single opportunity suddenly becomes a 1,000-yard rusher for America's team. That's a massive achievement for a player who was practically unknown just a few years ago. His emergence this season was a godsend for the Cowboys, especially after their starting running back, Ezekiel Elliott, saw his role in the offense diminish. By mid-season, it was clear Dowdle was the guy who was going to lead the backfield, and he did it in impressive fashion. But now, with free agency looming, the question remains, will the Cowboys be able to keep him, or will he cash in with a new team? Now, as we all know, running back is one of the most important positions in the NFL, and the Cowboys have been in search of a consistent rushing attack for years. The 2024 season wasn't perfect, but Dowdle's breakout year gave hope to fans and coaches alike that maybe the solution had been under their noses all along. Going into the season, the Cowboys had big plans for a two-headed monster in the backfield. The goal was to rely on both Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott to take the pressure off Dak Prescott and provide balance to the offense. But as the season wore on, things didn't go as planned. Elliott's production dipped, and by mid-season, Dowdle had essentially taken over the starting role. In fact, the Cowboys' offense seemed to thrive when the ball was in Dowdle's hands. He became a key piece of the offense, and the team's running game, which had been a major weakness in previous years, suddenly looked more efficient and reliable. In a season where consistency was hard to come by, Dowdle provided stability. And let's not forget about the importance of a solid running game in the NFL. We all know the Dallas Cowboys are built on offense. They rely on Dak Prescott's arm, sure, but they also need a solid running game to help control the clock and keep opposing defenses honest. Dowdle, as we saw this season, was able to be that guy. And that brings us to the big question that's hanging over the Cowboys front office right now: can they afford to keep him? Let's get down to brass tacks here. Rico Dowdle is a name now. And with that comes a price tag. After proving himself as a reliable and explosive running back for the Cowboys, his value has gone up exponentially. Reports are already circulating that Dowdle's agent, David Cantor, is set to meet with the Cowboys front office to begin negotiations. The big question is, how much will Dowdle cost? Last year, Dowdle played for a bargain $1.225 million. That's a steal for a 1,000-yard rusher, right? But the reality is, he's not going to be playing for that kind of money next season. Projections for his next contract range anywhere from $4 million to $8 million per season, depending on how the market shakes out. Now, before you start panicking, keep in mind that the Cowboys are known for being somewhat conservative when it comes to handing out big contracts. If the bidding for Dowdle's services goes too high, don't be surprised if Dallas decides to bow out of the race. After all, they've got a salary cap to worry about, and there's only so much money to go around. If that happens, then the Cowboys are faced with a tough decision. Do they look to the draft to find a new running back? Or do they explore other options in free agency? The running back market is always filled with talent, so there's certainly potential for the Cowboys to find another capable back to complement their offense. But Dowdle's success in 2024 has made him a key player in the team's future plans, and losing him would be a tough blow. So, where does this leave us? Well, first of all, it's clear that the Cowboys front office is taking a hard look at their options. They know that they need a reliable running back to complement Dak Prescott and keep their offense balanced. But at what cost? That's the question that will ultimately shape their decision. In the coming weeks, we'll likely see more rumors and reports as the Cowboys begin their negotiations with Dowdle and his agent. The front office has already promised that all avenues will be explored, and that means no stone will be left unturned in this process. If the Cowboys can't come to terms with Dowdle, expect them to explore the draft or other free agents. But losing Dowdle, especially after the season he just had, would be a tough pill to swallow. The Cowboys have a lot to consider, and we're going to be keeping a close eye on how this situation unfolds. So, Cowboys fans, what do you think? Should the Cowboys do whatever it takes to keep Rico Dowdle? Or should they cut ties and look for a fresh face in the backfield? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from you. That's all for today, folks. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for all the latest updates on the Cowboys offseason. This is going to be an exciting time for the team, and we've got you covered with everything you need to know. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!